Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time for the next episode of The Haunting of Hill House. Guys, just a little behind the scenes information. Usually when I record reactions, I do two back to back of a single show. I just find it's more efficient that way. I'm already in reaction mode, and it buys me a bit of a buffer. So today I'm about to watch my second episode of Haunting of Hill House, and normally I roll right from one into the next, but I literally had to take about a half-hour break. I surfed the internet, read some stupid little listicles. I played a couple of games of Candy Crush, basically anything I could do to just sort of take the chill off, because last episode was so intense. Don't get me wrong, really good, but powerful and intense, and just talking about it, I've already got the chills back, so I'm not even sure what the point of the Candy Crush was. There's clearly a pattern with our episodes where each one is centered on the next child in the list, going down by age. So I'm expecting this next episode to be about Luke, except I see that it's called the twin thing. And I didn't realize that there were any twins amongst the siblings, but if there are any, it would make sense that it's Luke and Nell. They sleep in the same room when they're kids. They're both, they look like they could be about the same age. But that adds a new twist that I hadn't even considered yet. And there's always stories about twins having an uncanny additional connection. They can tell when each other, when they're in pain or lost, or, they can, there's some sort of unknowable connection that hasn't fully been explained. And there's a lot of story-based evidence. That's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the idea that I'm getting across. There's a lot of story-based evidence that kind of connection is a real thing. So I wonder whether Luke and Nell have a connection like that. And also, I'm interested in seeing more about Luke. We've seen a fair bit of him as a kid, but we've hardly seen him at all as an adult, as opposed to the rest of the Crane family. We saw him run into Stephen when he was stealing his camera and iPad, and we saw him wake up, presumably in rehab, at the moment of Nell's death. But we've seen him a little bit in flashbacks, like at Nell's wedding, that sort of thing. But we just haven't seen him nearly as much as we've seen Stevie and Theo and Shirley and Nell to a slightly lesser degree. Anyway, I'm ready to jump into this. I'm excited but nervous about where it may go. I don't think this show is going to gloss over some of the horrors of addiction. And so I'm mentally preparing myself for that, in addition to being mentally prepared for being freaked out by supernatural ghost-like phenomenon. So anyway, here we go. This is episode 4 of The Haunting of Hill House. And I think I'm bringing the blanket back. The chills are real.
He even ripped my shirt, and they still didn't bleed me. They never bleed me.
Is he talking to
They don't
Abigail?
even bleed me about you.
Yeah.
You bleed me, don't you, Abigail?
So his imaginary friend is a real ghost, and he's seen a monster in the basement. He's a messed up kid. I don't think there's any getting away from that.
We came across this little Iraqi girl. She was burnt out, dead. Most folks don't know what happens to eyeballs in a fire.
Oh, God.
They can melt.
And he's blind now, obviously.
Pretty soon I start seeing that little dead girl's face everywhere.
And did he put out his own eyes to take it away?
And pretty soon, before I know it, I'm using again. So one night I drop a little acid and There she is. So I grabbed this knitting needle,
Oh,
you know, so then I'm blind.
and I still see her everywhere.
Well, I can't see anything else. I see her.
Yeah, the human horror stuff in this is just as brutal as the. It's even worse than the haunting horror. Last episode, we had the family domestic abuse, molestation, and now we've got the horror of drugs.
Luke, how about you?
Is this when you just started rehab?
I didn't follow that. You kidding me?
Who is she?
Luke, addict. I've never had this much time before. 90 days.
5,
Kill the monster.
6.
That is a big boy hat, all right. You want this? Big boys, they know the difference between what's real and what's imaginary. So what do you say, champ?
Oh, he's cute.
You like it?
He loves it.
Well, how do you know that?
It's a twin thing.
Oh, nice.
I'm having a total deja vu right now. Kids' books are on the lower shelf, so even the little boy with the wheelchair can reach his favorites.
Wow,
It's a pretty detailed
got
vision.
really specific.
And I see an accident waiting to happen if you don't pull those down. Bodies swinging back and forth right there.
Yeah.
Broken necked woman? Or bent neck woman, rather?
A fearless moral inventory.
We're only as sick as our secrets.
I've done some shitty things, Joey.
Who hasn't?
I never know how far back to go. Do I just start with, I briefly lived in a haunted house? Something's bothering you tonight.
What could possibly be bothering me in a place like this?
You're 9 months clean, Joey.
Yeah. There it is. Oh, he sees her too. Go? To the house?
You ready? I said I'm ready. I sent 3. Well, I only got 2. There were some rocks in the garden. Pretty ones. Abigail showed me one in...
Oh. Clara? Oh, dear.
You're scared. I can tell. How? Because I'm scared.
It's a twin thing. Clara. That's a sick bed.
It was probably just Theo messing around.
Oh, God. In the reflection. Brutal. What's the note?
As you've all heard by now, Joey chose to leave treatment in the middle of the night.
No. What did her note say?
Luke, you okay in there?
He's gone.
This is Nell. Please leave a message after the beep.
Hey, it's me. Don't worry, I'm fine. I just want to make sure that you're okay.
Is this when she was worried about him? And making the calls, or did he wake up to her dead? This might have been what triggered her being worried about him. There she is. The hat. But also her, like, it's like he saw her, but there's also somebody in the background wearing his hat. I think. Ugh, any moving shadow is, like, freaky in this show. What is it? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What freakiness is this? And what's in the room with him now? Is the bent neck woman in here now? Oh, man. Oh, this is terrible. It was his hat. No, no. Ah! Jeez. Oh, man. That's Joey, right? But didn't we see somebody in the hat behind her when we spotted her?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Come on.
You run, you give up your spot. That's the way it is.
Please, Paige, please.
Your best bet is gonna be a shelter. I'm sorry.
But you did it to yourselves.
Both of them? So is that why he's stealing? Because he stole from Steven? He needs money for a hotel room or something?
You gotta go back. Just because I messed up doesn't mean you have to.
If I can get you a motel,
Do you have money?
I'm gonna be right here, right there with you. All the way, just like you were for me, okay?
He's actually doing better. So does he actually know?
You got nothing left?
Oh.
That should get us most of the way.
Okay, I thought he was asking for her drugs. Yeah, there's the man with the hat again.
For a moment, she kind of reminded me of her. She's always believed in me. Just hang back. I don't want her to see your eyes. She'll know, okay?
Yeah.
Is
She
this
fucking knows.
right when... Is this Nell's place? She's not here. Is Nell still married? Does she still have a husband? Oh, no, this is Lee. Okay.
Hey.
Steve is not coming back soon. Maybe ever. He doesn't live here anymore. I am proud of you. I am. But you have to talk to Steven. You know what he's gonna say.
I mean, addicts were pretty slippery in early recovery. That's why they confiscated her cell phone, you know.
What if you want to call your mom?
Oh, for some folks in there, their connection is their mom. Truly.
Wow.
I mean, Luke's a great writer, too.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
The short story with the imaginary little friend in the garden, the one, do you know that one?
Abigail.
Yeah. Abigail.
Yeah. Where do you go from here?
They're
Nothing
all...
left to do except maybe fill this place up with some kids, I guess.
Well, that's a sore subject. Man, it's really good.
You must like her. I admire her. Don't you? I get it. She's charming. She's articulate. She's funny. Might even say slick.
Oh.
Just saying. You're not even giving her a chance.
No, I guess I'm not.
Why not?
I'm fresh out of those. I gave them all to you. Just because someone's a good person, just because you care about them, doesn't mean they won't burn you.
Yeah. Yeah. You got burned a lot.
Luke.
Fuck you. Jesus, Dave, it's fucking freezing in here.
Does he even see her? Fuck. It's not what it looks like. And it really wasn't.
Amazing. Amazing.
Damn it, it's cold tonight.
It's a twin thing.
I'll just pop into the little junkies room and be back in a minute.
No. What's that about?
Thank you.
What are you doing?
Be back in a flash.
No. I don't feel good about any of this. You've got $200 in your pocket, man. Don't screw it up. Oh man, I feel for him. He's been doing so good. And that kiss was a goodbye kiss. She stole his money. She stole his money. Does the guy in the bowler hat always haunt him? Oh man. Don't blow it, man. At least she's got your money, I guess, but
I actually don't know what I want to say here.
So we're back to the 90-day thing. 2 days ago.
I've never had this much time before.
Is what he said what drove her to go back to the streets?
You know, I was always a scared little kid. I thought I'd get braver as I got older, but
I didn't.
I just got scared of anything. My mom committed suicide when I was 6 years old.
They mugged him for his shoes.
I expected her to come back.
And his jacket.
Red eyes in the dark, just taking hope with them.
I love how when he was a kid, they made the guy even taller. Just that surreal thing that happens.
I guess that's why I started using it in the first place. You know, I have to keep those things away.
Man, he just haunted.
Any addict alone. That's right. Thank you.
There's something I need to tell you.
Listen, I know I fucked up, okay? But no. I didn't use. Please let me come back, please.
Where are you? We'll come get you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The 7 soldiers, that's what he keeps counting. Man, this is so well done.
They say she's a nightmare, but she's real. I know she is.
7 buttons.
7. And you set them up like this. Mom, Dad, Stephen, Cheryl, Theo, you, me. It helps if you touch each one and count out loud.
It's literally a touchstone, except a touch button. But I hope Stephen gets them.
5, 6, 7.
Oh, he's still there. Still there. And we always just see his back. Oh, that's freaky. He stopped. Is that him giving in to the addiction right there?
Come home, my love.
Whoa, Mom.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't help her. You gotta come with me, look. What?
It's Nell.
Man.
It was suicide. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Because it's a twin thing and he knows. Holy crap. Oh. Wow, guys. This is not a show that makes me giddy and happy and excited, that's for sure. It's powerful and it's devastating and it's incredibly well produced. I've never been an addict. I've never gone through recovery. But I don't think there's... I think you have to consciously turn a blind eye in North America to not witness it. I live not far from the worst neighborhood in Canada for drug addiction and mental health problems and poverty and homelessness and all of that. And it's impossible to ignore when you walk through that neighborhood. It's real, and it's heartbreaking to even imagine each individual person's story, because every single one of them is this downward spiral. Thank goodness some people can get themselves out of it can get through recovery, but I can only imagine what a difficult journey it is, and especially with mental health issues, and that's essentially what Luke's dealing with here. He had a traumatized childhood between the suicide of his mother and everything else that he's seen and witnessed as a kid. Abigail, this man in the bowler hat and the cane that seems to be haunting him constantly, and I wonder if that's really just sort of a representation of his addiction almost. Like, it felt like when he stopped counting, it caught up with him. And then we had that really interesting shot of his mother wearing the hat and her eyes glowing, which turned into the car. So here's the interesting thing, like, because it's a twin thing, because Luke and Nell had this connection since they were kids. One could tell when the other was afraid or scared or hurt or anything like that. You could tell Luke's been sort of feeling cold and stiff, like his dead sister probably was. Probably since he woke up, that startled awake. It just took a day plus to get the news. But he also instantly knew that it wasn't suicide. And this ties in, I think, to the end of episode 3, when Theo touched Nell's corpse and maybe got a similar sense or vision. So if Nell didn't commit suicide, what happened to her? And is it the same thing that happened to their mom? And the story has always been that mom committed suicide, but maybe she didn't. She was sensitive too. And it runs in the family. We've been told that. Mom's mother was sensitive. We know Theo's sensitive. And mom always wondered whether it may pass on to her kids. Maybe Nell is sensitive too. And I think we're going to learn a lot more about Nell next episode. That's certainly been the pattern of the episodes so far. But man, we certainly felt everything we've seen about Luke up to this episode was that he was a hopeless addict, and obviously he was dealing with stuff. We knew that, but we didn't really have any hope for him. We didn't believe that he was clean when we saw him breaking into Steven's apartment. I didn't even believe when Steven was on the phone back in episode 1 and he said he just got his 90-day chip, believe it or not. I didn't even believe that. I felt like that was just Steven saying something that Nell would like to hear so that she wouldn't worry. But I like where we're going. We're certainly jumping up. What the show's doing incredibly well is it's moving through time so much, almost willy-nilly. Not just between present day and the events leading up to that day back when they were kids, but we go 3 months back, we go 2 months back, we go 2 days ago. We're all over the place, and sometimes the show tells us, and sometimes we have to figure it out on our own a little bit. But it's never ultimately confusing. It's really well told. We're starting to see these events from multiple perspectives, and I think that's really interesting. Like, it's got a bit of that Rashomon feel because of that. I think ultimately it's more about how everybody perceives than anything else, and how people rationalize away their fear, if they can rationalize it. It seems that Nellie and Luke had, because they were the youngest and the most directly affected by these hauntings, were probably the least capable of rationalizing the things that happened back in the day, and therefore they were the two that, at least superficially, had the most messed up lives. I think Theo and Shirley and Steve are equally messed up in their own ways, but they mostly do that by walling themselves off and lying to themselves about what they know and what they've seen. So I'm very interested to see where this goes from next. It's an incredibly powerful show. It's really well written. The cast is fabulous because yeah, we've got a really good adult cast, but I'm really impressed with the kids, especially the young ones. The kids playing Luke and Nell, and to a lesser degree Theo. I've worked with kids on set a lot, and just shooting with children on set is an additional challenge, because there are child labor laws that are to be followed for a very good reason, but it limits the amount of time that you get a child on set. It limits their working hours. It limits the times of day that they can work. They have to get X number of hours of school within a working day. So this limits how much time you just have them on set, if nothing else. And sometimes you have to, you're forced to sacrifice performance because you just don't have enough time, or you're forced to oversimplify scenes because you can't shoot. You don't have the time to have 6 or 10 setups in a scene. You have to do it with 1 or 2 because you've only got the children on set for another hour before you have to send them home for the day. Things like this. And kids just have less experience. Child actors haven't been working as long as lifelong actors, and so and they have so much less experience to draw from when they're finding those emotional points that end up informing their work on screen. So when you see really strong performances from child actors, it's always I find it really compelling and impressive, especially acting scared. I can see that being particularly challenging, and maybe the kids are just naturals at it. Maybe it's really good direction, but man, it works really, really well in this show, and I'm excited to see more. I know I'm not excited I know I don't have a ton of energy right now because I just feel drained. That was a draining episode. I think that's what it boils down to, is that took it out of me. But I'm in awe of it, and I appreciate it so much. And I like that there are moments of horror in this show, but this isn't non-stop freak out horror. Full stop. I like that the horror is infecting our characters' lives in very different ways. Luke is haunted by these imageries, but it's as much a symptom of his addiction, his recovery, that it comes across in those terms. Man, just a really great episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, so by all means use the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like what I'm doing with Hill House here, let me know if you want to see more. In the next couple of weeks, I'll probably be throwing a poll up on my Patreon about what I should be watching after this. Maybe I should check out the thematic sequels to this. Haunting of Bly Manor? Let me know if that's worth seeing in the poll that I put up on Patreon. And yeah, until next week, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.